Hi, my name is Susan Prince. I've lived in Montgomery Village for 2 years, and I currently reside in the courts of Whetstone. So I'm interested in serving on the board for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I am a civic person. Every community I've lived in, I've been involved in some level. I believe very strongly in civic engagement. I feel like that people who see things that need to be made better have a responsibility to get involved. I'm currently on next door, and I've seen people who have issues and complaints, and I prefer to take a little bit of a different approach, that if I feel like I see something that needs to be better, I love to get involved. The other reason is Montgomery Village is just an amazing place. I've only been here for 2 years, but I grew up in Montgomery County. I'm very familiar with the village, and it has amazing attributes. We have beautiful parks. We have wonderful residents. People have been so welcoming and so friendly, and I've enjoyed so much getting to know my neighbors. And I think there's just tremendous potential here, and I'm really looking forward to getting involved. So since moving to Montgomery Village, I've worked really hard to become further engaged in the community. I've attended HOA meetings, I've attended the board meetings, I've participated in a lot of activities in the village. I've taken several recreation classes, I've taken pickleball, I've taken that up. It's super, super fun. I've also participated in the yard sale. I participated in the toy drive and the food drive. So, I've worked hard to really get to know people and become engaged in the community. The other thing I've done, I'm a pretty active runner and biker, and I have walked or hiked or ridden every single trail and sidewalk pretty much in Montgomery Village. And, I love it. I've gone from one end to the other end and back again. And it's a beautiful place. I've tried as best that I could to really take advantage of all the things Montgomery Village has to offer, including the pools, the lakes. I love it. I love it all. So I bring to MVF a wealth of experience. In addition to my professional career, I currently am serving as chair of the board of Rockville Economic Development, Inc. I've served on that board for 10 years, and we've worked really hard to refocus the efforts of City of Rockville towards improving their overall economic development picture. In addition, I also served as the president of the West End Citizens Association. This was a group that was responsible for representing a wide swath of residents within the city of Rockville. It was a very challenging situation because there was a lot of development that was proposed for the neighborhood. And I took it upon myself to work really closely with the people who were looking to come into the community to make sure that it was the best development possible and representing the interest of the residents to protect that residential character of the neighborhood. It was a really challenging time, and it gave me a lot of experience in making sure that I could listen to what the residents' concerns were and adequately representing them. Additionally, I also am very passionate about entrepreneurs and small businesses. I currently serve as a network advisor at TEDCO. It's Maryland's venture fund. So I have a lot of passion with working with individuals who are looking to start businesses. I've been a mentor there. I was named a good citizen. I've received other awards. I've worked with Montgomery County Council on their COVID response committee. I was named to that. So a wide variety of activities, both professional, business oriented, as well as for residentials. So the MVF Board of Directors has an opportunity to support our residents further. I feel like the current situation with the COVID crisis has affected all of us in many, many different ways. We've been affected financially, socially, mentally, physically, and I would love to see the Village Foundation, Montgomery Village Foundation, step up and see if there are ways that we could further assist our current residents in helping them get through this as best that we can, and creating that sense of community that allows us to rely on each other and make sure that we can get through this in a way that's as best as possible. So I'd love to see the foundation step up in supporting residents that have been affected by COVID. As you may or may not know, our zip code has one of the highest rates of COVID incidents within the county. We have an incredible community, very diverse population, and people have different needs in response to this. I would love to see us expand our class offerings to help people address some of the challenges that we're facing. For instance, a very simple class on how to use Zoom. Everybody is talking about doing Zoom calls, but maybe there are parts of our population that aren't familiar with it and would love to take a short class on how to become more familiar so that they can stay in touch with their communities and friends. Another idea would be people are stressed, and maybe we could offer some classes on meditation, or I know we have some yoga classes. Maybe there are ways that we can increase some of our offerings to help people deal with some of the stresses that they're facing. Perhaps some financial management classes, how best to manage your finances as we go through these challenging times. I'd love to see us adapt our offerings to be responsive for the challenges that we're facing now. So I think the diversity that Montgomery Village has is absolutely one of its strengths. It's an amazing community, and I'm astounded by the variety and breadth and depth of residents that we have here. Coming from Rockville, and as I mentioned, I've only been in Montgomery Village for 2 years. Previously, I was in Rockville. They also have a very diverse community. And what I've found is the best way to engage different communities is to meet them where they are. Rather than spending a lot of effort trying to get the community to come to you, I think a better way to handle it is to find ways to find where the community is meeting. For instance, where I live, there's a basketball court, and there are wonderful young men who are out there playing basketball. I would love to see us have some type of a league. Perhaps we can figure out a way to reach out to people that are currently using our facilities and craft ways to get them engaged in different types of activities. I think our recreation centers are not used as much as they could, and perhaps there are ways that we could identify different groups and find out things that they're interested in and create programming that would be of interest to them and better utilize our current facilities. But again, the key is to identify the things that are most interesting and of interest to those communities and create programming, create activities that find them where they are rather than them coming to us. So I strongly support the environmental policy. It's one of the things that I love about Montgomery Village is walking around the Lake Whetstone, and spying all the different species of birds that frequent there, the turtles. There's so many aspects to Montgomery Village that are in tune with nature, and I completely support the policy, the environmental policy. So Montgomery Village represents a tremendous opportunity. We have residential areas, we have commercial areas, we are adjacent to Lake Forest Mall, which is currently under consideration for redevelopment. There's a lot of things that are happening here in the community, and there's a lot of things that can be happening for good. We are looking to refresh some of our current commercial areas, which I think is a real positive for the community. The thing about development, economic development, is when you have people who are interested in coming to your community, that's a good thing. That means you're offering the desirable demographics that people are looking for. And what will happen is you're going to start seeing additional changes of positive types of retail. People are looking forward to having maybe a restaurant, maybe some other types of things come in here. All of these things are interconnected. You can't really have one without the other. And Montgomery Village is really poised, I think, to do great things because we have a great residential base. We have people who are interested in doing business here. I think the future is very bright for Montgomery Village, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I think the last thing I would like to leave you with is that before I came to Montgomery Village, I had many options to choose from. There's a lot of great neighborhoods within Montgomery County. And I think one of the things that really appealed to me was the fact that there were all of these plans of things happening. The revitalization of the Village Center, the redevelopment of the Professional Center, the Bloom development. I feel like there's a new energy that's happening here. And in reading the plans, I could see that there was a commitment to really bring out the best that Montgomery Village has to offer and really strengthen the community and provide the kinds of feeling of place. I feel like strong communities really do well when they have a sense of place. And the work that's being done now is really working to develop that. And so I'm super excited about seeing some of that continue and taking us into the next however many years, 40 years. Thank you.